Hello one and all. Welcome to this Rupa Ganesh English language learning channel. In this video, I am going to discuss about one of the grammar aspect, W questions. Friends, let me share a thought. How do I create something out of nothing? I think it's by questioning. This tells the importance of questioning in our life. Friends, we know that there are three types of questions: WH questions, question tags, and yes or no type of questions. WH questions are so called because, with the exception of the question word how, all the words begins with the letters WH. WH questions are also called as informative questions, open questions, because they require the particular information. You can't answer by the question by supplementing yes or no. Friends, in this slide, let's know about which are the WH question words. WH questions are questions starting with WH words such as who, what, when, where, why, which, whose, whom, how. After knowing about these WH words, let's know the purpose of using those words. So let's move on to the next slide. Framing WH question is a skill. To have this skill, we must have a clear idea about the usage of WH word, its purpose and context. Knowing about this is very important. For example, if you want to get the information about an object or name of a person, then you go for what? For example, what is this? Where is used to locate a place, to know about the location of a place. For example, where is your book? If you want to get the name of the person as answer, then you go for who. Who is used for person or people. For example, who is this? Who are you? Whenever you want to get information about time, then you go for when. When is used to get the answer for time reference. If you want to get the answer for reason, then you go for why. Why are you late? Then if you want to get the answer for objects and places which are about selection, then we have to go for which. Which is your native place? If you want to know the ownership or possession of a thing, then we must go for whose. Whose book is this? Yes, the selection of person, then we have to go for whom. Whom do you appoint as the class leader, or whom do you select as the class leader? To get information about manner, number and duration, we must select how. How did the accident happen? How many brothers have you? And how long did you meditate? So, we must keep these points in our mind. We must select the appropriate WH word to frame a meaningful WH questions. After knowing this, let's know the structure of a WH question in the next slide. Word order in WH questions. This concept is very important in framing WH question because this gives the structure of a WH question. That means, very simple, it is a formula for WH question. Then what does this formula contains? Whenever we frame a WH question, the first word that comes is WH word. Then auxiliary verb. Then subject, then main verb. That's why the structure of a WH question is WH word plus auxiliary verb. It is also called as helping verb plus subject plus main verb. For example, where are you going? In this question, the first word is WH word is where. The second word or is an auxiliary verb. The third word you is subject. The fourth word going is main verb. This should be the order or structure of a WH question. If you say like this, where you are going, then it's not a question. So we must always keep this in our mind. Questioning is a very important skill. To be a better question, to be frame better WH questions, we must have two concepts in our mind. One is that to select appropriate WH word for particular context or purpose, and to follow the structure of a WH question. If we keep these 2 points in our mind, it is easy to frame WH questions. Let us learn this skill by examples. Frame a question to get underlined words as answer. The first example I would like to share with you is, this novel was written in 1946. Here, the underlined word 1946 refers to time. Whenever it comes to time, we should go for when. And the second part, we have to go for auxiliary verb, that is was, when was. Then the subject, this. When was this? Okay, that is the subject. When was this novel? Then written is the main verb. WH word, auxiliary verb, subject, main verb. So this has satisfied. When was this novel written is the answer. Let's see the second example. The briefcase was stolen at the station. At the station, that refers to a place. If it refers to a place, then we should go for where. So auxiliary verb is was. Where was the briefcase? The briefcase is subject. And the stolen is verb. So the answer is, where was the briefcase stolen? The third example. The servant let out the secret. So the first phrase that itself tells that is a subject, who. The name of a person, common noun. The first word is a subject, then we should go for who. Who let out the secret? So here is one change. The another structure of a WH question is for who. After who, the main verb comes and then the subject at the last. So this is also little bit variation, especially who. For example, Ravi ate a banana. If Ravi is underlined, instead of Ravi, just you go for who ate banana. Then that satisfies the structure of a WH question. Let's pass on to the next example. The fourth one is, Nile is the longest river in the world. Here the underlined word is Nile. That refers to the selection of a place or thing. Whenever we have to select a place or thing, then we have to go for which. So which, then we should go for the auxiliary verb, then the subject, it passes as on. Which is the longest river in the world? The fifth one, they are playing. They are what? What they are doing? What are they playing? What are they doing is the answer. Sixth one, those were Charan's collections. Whenever you want to get the ownership as an answer, that means possession as the answer, then you must go for whose. Whose is always followed by subject, whose book, whose pen, whose watch, like this, whose collections. After that, auxiliary verb were, then they. Whose collections were they? So we must keep in mind the structure of a WH question, and whenever whose comes after that, the subject will be added. Now let's pass on to the seventh example. The birds live in the forest. The birds live in the forest. Where? Here in this sentence, there is no auxiliary verb. In English grammar, if there is no auxiliary verb, you must make use of dummy auxiliaries. Which are the dummy auxiliaries? Do, does, did. Since the verb is in present tense, live, it takes do form. If it is live, then it would have taken did. Lives, does. Keeping this rule in mind, you must add the auxiliary verb. So note down this. If there is no auxiliary verb, make use of do, does, did. So the answer is where do. Then the subject is birds. The verb is live. Where do birds live? Next, the eighth example. Tanvir goes to school by bus. Tanvir goes to school how? That is the WH verb. Then there is no auxiliary verb. Goes takes does. How does? Okay. Then the subject Tanvir. How does Tanvir go to school? That is the answer. The ninth one. Sheila went to market to buy vegetables. Sheila went to market. Why? So when you want to get the reason as the answer, you must go for why. Why? Then the second, there is no auxiliary verb. We have to make use of did because went is in past tense. Why did? Sheila is subject. Why did Sheila? We should never use double past tense. So we should make use of go. Why did Sheila go to the market? Many times we have seen the students with frame. Where did Ramu went? No. Where did Ramu go? That should be the structure of a WH question. We should never use double past tense in a WH question. Why did Sheila go to the market is the answer. Now, 10th one. Rosie prays God for 1 hour. Rosie prays God for 1 hour tells the duration of time. Then we should go for how long. There is no auxiliary verb. Prays means does. How long does Rosie pray God? Friends, through this video, I have discussed with you about the WH words, the purpose of using WH words, the structure of a WH words, and the structure of a WH question, and the skill in framing WH questions. Friends, let me share a thought of Rudyard Kipling. I kept 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I know. Their names are what, why, when, who, how and where. This tells the importance of WH questions. Questioning is a very important skill in our life. Our classroom scenario has to be changed. generally the teachers would ask the questions. No, that should be changed. The students should ask the question. They should actively participate by asking the questions. Then only the knowledge would enhance. Their intellectual capabilities would be increased. To achieve this, we must practice the skill of framing WH questions. I hope, friends, this video have guided us, enlightened us in framing WH questions. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you very much.